You know what, guys? I've had a realization. I thought about it a lot, and I've sat here and I've come to realize that I indeed believe that seinen is better than shonen. If I was a whiny baby who still can't admit to their friends that I watch SpongeBob instead of the grown-up shows. This debate of seinen versus shonen has existed since anime discussion online has begun. As long as I've been talking about anime with people, as long as I've been watching anime, I've been sick and tired of hearing the seinen versus shonen debate. Well, actually, you can't watch Naruto because it's a show made for kids. You should instead watch Berserk or read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's always like that. It's the dumbest debate of all time, and I'm so tired of hearing it. No matter how popular anime becomes, no matter how informed the masses you would think they'd be, there are still people who will call Death Note a seinen in disguise, Hunter x Hunter being a soft seinen, or these terms that are so dumb, or people saying that One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, or any shonen series is inherently inferior because it's a shonen. And I'm here to debunk that. I'm here to talk about why these two terms are different things, what's different about them, and ultimately, spoiler alert, why they don't really matter. Hi, I'm Busham0. I make videos covering anime, manga, tokusatsu, cartoons, movies, pretty much everything at this point, and I've made videos about seinen and shonen and different demographics and why that sort of seems to be an issue amongst people who talk about anime. And while I feel like I did a decent job, I feel as though there might have been more that I needed to talk about, which is why we're making this video. So if you like stuff like this, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any uploads, and comment down below what you think about this video and what your favorite shonen and seinen series are. Let me know down in the comments below. So let's get into the topic. So to begin with, shonen and seinen are just demographics. What does that mean? Demographic is a marketing term, not a genre term, not an actual thing that regards the actual material surrounding it. It is very simply who the intended audience is for the material present. So of course we have children's shows like Adventure Time, regular shows, Steven Universe, Teen Titans, right? These shows were marketed towards this age range. And because of that, that's the demographic that Teen Titans, Adventure Time, regular show, Steven Universe, all those shows had. Similarly, young adult novels like Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Divergent, Harry Potter are part of the young adult sections of novels, and that's who that market is the demographic for. That's all really demographic is, in the same way that shonen and seinen are marketed towards two entirely different demographics. The target range typically for shonen series is like 9 to 18 or even 12 to 18 if you want to limit it. Meanwhile, like the seinen demographic is anything from 18 years old to above. This is usually what these demographics are marketed towards. So we have something like Weekly Shonen Jump, Weekly Shonen Magazine, Weekly Shonen Sunday. By the names, they are in fact shonen magazines. Otherwise, we have stuff like Young Jump,
Weekly Young Magazine,
that are usually for a seinen audience. That's really the difference, right? Because aside from who they're marketed towards, there's very few things that actually separate the difference between a seinen and a shonen. The way I know this is that when people talk about shonen, they'll bring up like Tokyo Ghoul, even though by definition Tokyo Ghoul is a seinen. You wouldn't necessarily know that if you stacked it up against something like MHA or other things within Shonen Jump that are relatively dark. The only way you could even argue that is maybe it's a little more violent than others. But again, stuff like Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, Death Note, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure before it moved out of the magazine during part 7 were all shonen series. Similarly, because One Punch Man is marketed in the Shonen Jump app, people believe One Punch Man is a shonen when no, actually the magazine that it publishes in is a seinen magazine. I even get confused because I thought Kaguya-sama for the longest time was a shonen romance series, but it turns out no, it published in Young Jump, a seinen magazine. Again, the material would never lead me to believe that that was the case, but yeah, it's a seinen manga. So if that's the case, why does it matter if anyone distinguishes them? I think that the reason why people even have this debate, or why we even have this distinguishing, is because there's this argument of maturity that comes comes with discussing shonen versus seinen. People will point to things like Vagabond or Vinland Saga or Berserk, you know, the classics, to point out like how most seinen series are more mature. They cover darker themes, they're more thematically rich, and are therefore perceived as better than some kiddie stuff like Naruto or One Piece or Bleach, or I don't know, Attack on Titan, even though some people will debate that Attack on Titan is a seinen in disguise, which is so funny to me. To be honest with you, the entire debate just stems from a lack of understanding on the material to begin with. I know that when you say that seinen are better than shonen, I'm not gonna look at you and be like, oh, you mean like Heian, Kaguya-sama, Oshinoko, Bochi the Rock, Sora no Woto, Defrag? You talking about Defrag? You're gonna sit here and tell me how Defrag is more mature than the average episode of Naruto? You're not saying that. Because when they're talking about shonen, I know for a fact they're not talking about stuff like Death Note. They're not talking about GTO. They're not talking about parts 1 through 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're talking about Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Demon Slayer, and all the battle shonen. If you need the genre, or what more accurately describes what you're talking about, you would say battle shonen. I understand that shonen is the shorthand for these types of series, but when you're trying to distinguish the differences between the two, oftentimes there really isn't that big a difference. The most prominent example I can think of is the fact that Shunji Family Children and Rent a Girlfriend are both written by the demon himself, Reiji Miyajima, but if I really put them right next to each other, I couldn't tell the difference in demographic between the two. Rent a Girlfriend, the story about the college student and his adventures taking part in what is effectively compensated dating with other adult women, is the one that's publishing in the Shonen magazine. And Shunji Family Children, the one that stars mostly high schoolers and middle schoolers going about their high school and middle schooler days, is the one that publishes in the Seinen magazine, when really the differences between the two are negligible. The perceived maturity that comes with the idea between seinen and shonen are so minuscule, so unimportant, and so tiny that I even wonder why people care about it, if not because they want to seem intellectually superior or more mature in the material that they're consuming. There's a lot of stigma that comes with people who watch a lot of shonen because, yeah, like I said in my shonen video, you're watching shows made for children. If you have a superiority complex about the fact that you watch better shows because you watch like JJK, you're watching a show and reading a manga made for children. Fundamentally, the age range is 12 to 18. But there's fundamentally nothing wrong with that, because guaranteed, had JJK published in a seinen magazine, I guarantee you the only real difference would be the release schedule and how much blood, gore, and like boobs you'll see in the magazine. There's very, very few things that separate from it, as evidenced by these shows here that are seinen that take place with high school themes that don't really have anything that separates it from the shonen counterparts over here on the right. There's really nothing that separates the two all that much. But again, I feel as though people who complain that there's nothing but shonen slop and there's nothing but what Crunchyroll pulls for you, people who say that, I guarantee you have not checked out what's on Crunchyroll. Because again, GTO's on Crunchyroll, a weekly shonen magazine alumni, but there's also Sora Yorimo Toibasho, Aka 13, Afro Samurai, Akagi, the Akira movie, the Bakemonogatari anime. By the way, the Monogatari series is currently publishing in Weekly Shonen magazine, despite how perceived mature the series actually is. It really is just demographics. It really is just marketing, because the actual contents of the material aren't all that different depending on what it is. I don't know why you're trying to sit there and trying to filter out making sure that I'm reading stuff for the big boys, because if you really were secure in yourself, if you really were able to look into the material and figure out what it's doing, you would find that you should just watch what seems appealing to you. There's options for you. Sort by genre, not by demographic, and you'll find something out there for you. And it's fine if you like shonen, even though it's marketed towards kids, because guaranteed you wouldn't even know unless it was pointed out to you. Again, seinen, shonen, seinen, shonen, seinen, shonen, you get the point. Thank you guys for watching another video by yours truly, Busham0. I am planning on making more editorial content like this, so if you want to see more just like this, make sure you comment down below, let me know that, and of course, like the video and subscribe and hit the bell. Also, if you want to get videos like this a day early, you can hit the join button and become a member. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.